Flow comes like rain. Prosperity is easy. Your mind has made it hard.
All right. Yes, I
Love
am.
it, love it, love it.
I'm in rare form today, fortunately, because if I was in this form every day, probably just trip down the stairs. All right. But I got a whole bunch of awesome speakers around me who make me look good as soon as I get out of the way. So our next speaker is Joel Salomon. And as the song sang, his theme is prosperity is easy. Your mind has made it hard. So Joel, take it away.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Orly. And thank Rebecca and Andrew and Christine and Adele and Jason and Toby for showing up, being present. And let's go all in. For those of you who are not playing all in, you have your cameras off, turn them on. Because like Orly just said, if you're not playing all in, then you're not playing. And you're not here, you're not present, be present. So, and stick around to the end. I got a very special non-disclosed bonus just for those of you who are present, sticking around and showing up, just for you guys. So, I won the lottery. I won the lottery. That was what was going through my head when my boss slipped me a piece of paper on January 10th of 2010. I'll explain more in a few minutes. But was I really ecstatic? For a minute. But what if you could be happy now before you have the millions in the bank? Creating that feeling of gratitude for what you have now can shift your feelings about money from worry and fear to expectation and fun. And that's what I did before I even knew this gratitude technique consciously. And in the next few minutes, you too will learn how to shift your money beliefs and create real financial abundance. Now, can you imagine never having to worry about money again? Anyone? Put imagine in the chat if you can. If you can imagine never having to worry about money again. I will tell you though, I've done the research. I've interviewed hundreds and hundreds of people, read dozens and dozens of psychology books, and most of you are lying because most people can't imagine it because they don't believe it. Do you believe in your dreams? Really believe in your dreams? Have you ever had a really, really big dream? One that most people thought was impossible? That was me, 1992. I had a dream to be a professional money manager because it was my hobby. See, on the weekends and evenings, I analyzed and invested in stocks. But I was working at an insurance company, coding, and I didn't want to go back to school for an MBA in finance. So I reached out to many professional money managers who gave me doubt, massive doubt, a ton of rejection. But then there was one who gave me his path, and I followed it somewhat. And in 2008, I was hired by a major financial institution to manage a $300 million portfolio of stocks. Can anyone say financial crisis? The Great Recession? That was the year I started managing money. The year the market was down 40% and financial companies, the only ones I was invested in, were down a lot more. And no, I had nothing to do with that. Seriously, I didn't. That was the year we lost our sense of security. Many of us lost our homes, our retirement accounts were slashed. I even had friends coming up to me and asking me if they should take their money out of their bank because they were afraid of a literal run on the bank. There was a ton of fear out there. I was fearful myself. I was scared I was going to lose my job. I did manage to generate a solid positive return for the bank shareholders that year. And the next year was even better. I generated a massive 25% return. And my boss gave me a bonus for that year. And yes, that was my lottery winnings. But again, was I ecstatic for that minute? So what about my true dream? My true dream was to have my own company managing money. Now, could it really be done without an MBA in finance and decades of experience managing money? Well, I did have a lot of great relationships with insurance companies, and I went to them asking them to invest their money with me. Fast forward a few years, I've hired the requisite service providers and CFO and analysts. And it was June 12th, 2013. I was at a huge investor meeting in Midtown Manhattan. I was getting a call from my chief financial officer. I had to leave the room. I had to hear the words. And I did. She said, Joel, the money's in the accounts. We can start investing the funds tomorrow. On that warm June day, I ran out of that hotel room screaming, yes. I had achieved my dream 20 years after I first had it. And over the next few minutes, I am going to condense my long road so it can lead to your shortcut. Before I do that, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you have a fear about money? Do you have any money worries? Put in the chat your number from 1 to 10, where 10 is I worry about money all the time. And 1 is almost never. Be honest, put your number in the chat. And if you're comfortable, if you're not, just write it down on your notepad. We got some 1s, that's good. Got some 7s and 5s. Now, I want you guys to take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. If you feel comfortable, close your eyes. Take another deep breath in and out. And I want you to be completely honest with yourself. What is your true number? And if you feel comfortable, you can put it in the chat what your true number is. How often do you worry about money from 1 to 10? 10 all the time, 1 never, or almost never. Well, if you're very high on that scale, I'm going to make sure your number goes down a little bit today. And at the end, I'm going to give you an opportunity to get you all the way down to 1 or 2. Now, it's important to know that those fears, those worries are just like faith. Fear and faith demand that you believe in something you can't see. Let me repeat that. Fear and faith both demand that you believe in something you can't see. And many of us rely on fear because it's dependable. I know that may sound harsh, but it's true, because you can depend on it. And you need to move away from these feelings to facts and faith. So what's the purpose of your feelings? To keep you safe, usually. And it's not for your business. So let's talk about fears. Anybody believe they have a fear of money? Put in the chat if you believe you have a fear of money. You can put a yes in the chat. I will tell you, you don't have a fear of money. You may have a fear of success, a fear of failure. Like Trisha said, maybe you have a fear of not being enough. Maybe you have a fear of taking action or taking consistent action. Maybe you have a trust issue. Money's just paper. It literally grows on trees. You don't have a fear of money. It's these other issues that we have to deal with. And we'll talk about beliefs in a few minutes, but affirmations are a powerful way to change your fears to faith. And we'll talk about affirmations in a couple minutes. Now, let me ask you another question. How many of you believe that the economy is responsible for your life and your business? Put economy in the chat if you believe that the economy is responsible for your life and your business. I'm going to be a little tough on you guys. It's not the economy. There's only one economy. It's the economy of you. It's the economy of your business. It's not what's going on out there. And let me tell you, when the overall economy was the worst in the last 20 years, in 2008, like I just described, I made personally 10 times what I made in any other 18-month period in my life, before or since. When the economy is not doing great, it's huge opportunities for your business. When you believe, which is, by the way, rule number 1 in the 9 Money Rules Millionaires Use, my second book. So let me ask you a question. Do you feel like you have a pressure to perform, a pressure to generate money right now? This can be a good thing. Because if you have pressure to earn an extra $30,000 over the next couple of months, that may be actually the best situation to be in. It's going to force you to take action. So love you to write down on your notepad, if you feel free to put in the chat, what you would do with an extra $30,000. Not the normal course of business thing, but what would you do with an extra $30,000? Surprise, you manifested it. A surprise client came in, or 3 or 5. Really think about it. Write it down. Because I know what I'm doing with an extra 30,000, or like Toby said, an extra 3 million. Write it down. Go big. So I know I'm going to pay for my daughter Morgan's doctorate program, even though she's a freshman at Colgate. I know I'm going to invest extra money in my stock fund to generate an extra 50 to 100% return over the next couple of years. So actually have a plan in place, because you're acting as if, as Trisha said, you're acting as if what you want to happen is about to happen. So I'm going to give you something really special right now, and I'll repeat it at the end, which is an opportunity to eliminate your money worries in 30 minutes, give or take. You just have to jump on a call with me. I'm opening up 10 sessions over the next 2 weeks. So you got till June 19th to jump on a session to eliminate those money worries. So if you were 8, 9, or 10 when I asked, or even a 7, when you worry about money all the time, jump on a call with me. I'll put the link in the chat when I'm done. But the other thing I'd recommend is calm down. Calm down. It's not that big a deal, right? You have a lot going for you. As Michael just said, you're living the dream life of 99% of the world right now. There's 8 billion people on the planet. I'm pretty sure billions would love to trade places with you for even one day. So, and let me tell you, you've had 100% success rate of getting through everything in your life. How do I know that? Because you're sitting here right now. You got through it. So give yourself a pat on the back. Congratulations. You're here. Do it. Give yourself a pat on the back. How often do you do that? Give yourself a hug. Yes, Rebecca, give yourself a hug. Pretty sure you don't do that every day. So know that you are the master creator. And today I want to give you 4 powerful ways to improve your thoughts and feelings about money. So number 1 is taking action, the law of taking action. How many of you took action today? Put action in the chat if you've taken some action regarding your business. Because I will tell you, taking action creates clarity. And remember, action is a tell on your beliefs. If you're not taking action, it probably means that you have some limiting beliefs around yourself or your business. So what actions have you taken to grow your business today, this week, this month? 2 is the law of problem solving. You are paid in direct proportion to the frequency and size of the problem you're solving. For me, it's easy. I have a pretty big problem I'm solving. I think all of you have it. If you're not making 7 figures, I think you have a money problem. So I can charge a lot, but I tell my clients, like Rebecca, that she and my other clients are solving people's problems, and those problems are significant. She's helping people achieve their dreams, and their dreams are priceless, and she's not charging priceless. So usually my clients are not charging enough. But think about the problem you're solving, the size and frequency of it, and you could charge a lot more. You're not charging priceless, I'm pretty sure. But there are people who will have their lives changed because of what you're doing. 3 is you have a relationship with money. Do you know it? Do you know what your relationship with money is? It's big. And some of you are scared of money. Some of you believe it's really hard to achieve, to get. Some of you believe you have to work really, really hard to be rich and successful. Some of you believe you can't be spiritual and rich. I will tell you, these are just limiting beliefs. And to create prosperity, you have to have a healthy relationship with money. And 4 is rule number 6 in the 9 money rules millionaires use. How many have heard of John Templeton? So Sir John Templeton started his fund with a few $1,000s in the 1950s. He sold the Templeton funds to the Franklin funds for almost $1 billion in the 1990s. He said he hadn't met anybody who hadn't given at least 10% of his earnings each year over a 10-year period, who didn't have massively more wealth at the end of the 10 years than at the beginning. And I know what you're thinking, Joel, if I give my money away, how do I have more money? I have less. Well, I will tell you that from my experience and from many others, that money is just flow. And when you're opening the flow, it's going to come back to you, and usually in multiples. So let me go back to my dream. My dream to become a money manager took me 20 years, and I believe it's going to take you a lot less time. Why? Because I'm about to give you 3 more amazing secrets to change your mindset and live your dream life. And these are 3 more of the 9 money rules millionaires use. So, and I'm going to give 1 book away. Anybody want the 9 money rules millionaires use for free? Well, text to the number 66866 prosperity. Put in the chat 66866 prosperity, and I'll enter you into a raffle to win 1 free book, The 9 Money Rules Millionaires Use. So here's your first secret. When you shift your money mindset and level up your financial education, you can become financially free quicker. When you change your beliefs about money from worry and fear to expectation and fun, you can live the life of your dreams and manifest real money. So let me tell you a story about crypto. Anyone here of Bitcoin? Anybody? Put in the chat Bitcoin if you've heard of it. So no, if I was saying, get out your phone and text 66866, the word prosperity. That's how you get entered, not in the chat. So let me be clear, I'm not recommending any cryptocurrencies. It's only an example. On November 24, 2017, 2 guys bought Bitcoin, $8,000. One guy, he'd been researching it the whole year. He read the white papers. He knew it was an awesome investment opportunity. And if you asked him on a scale of 1 to 10, what his belief level, where 10 is absolute faith and one is massive doubt, he would have said 10. So he buys 1 Bitcoin. Second guy, he got a tip from a buddy of his who said, dude, it's going higher, it's going higher. If you asked him on a scale of 1 to 10, he's a 1, massive doubt. They each buy the Bitcoin. Less than 1 week later, it's at $10,000. And the first guy says, told you it was going higher. And the second guy says, I hope it doesn't go back down. And 1 week later, Bitcoin's back down at $8,000. The first guy says, this is the best buying opportunity out there. And he buys more. The second guy, he sells. He is so grateful he didn't lose money on Bitcoin. 3 weeks later, Bitcoin's at its all-time high up to that point, $19,500. First guy's made 250% on his money in less than 1 month. The second guy, he has no idea where Bitcoin's trading. He's worried about losing money elsewhere. So what's the point of the story? Anybody? Put in the chat if you know what the point of the story is. Well, I ask my clients to write down their level of belief in each investment they own or thinking about buying. And if you're not a 7, 8, 9, or 10, don't go there. Yes, it's all about belief, because if you're not a 7, 8, 9, or 10, don't buy it, because you're going to be selling when you should be buying and buying when you should be selling. So write down your level of belief in each investment you currently own or thinking about owning. And if you're not at least a 7, 8, 9, or 10, pass. Or think about selling what you already own. It's not going to work. And know that this does change over time. So check your belief level every 3 to 6 months. Especially because if you've already lost money, your belief level may have changed. But of course, it shouldn't change your investment thesis. Now, let me give you a client example. John came to me in 2018. He was an auto mechanic, had massive negative beliefs about money. He hadn't gone on vacation in 20 years. He hadn't changed his shoes in 3. But he believed on a scale of 1 to 10 that stocks were the way to become rich. And he wanted to learn everything I knew about stocks, including my 5-step proprietary stock screen. So I taught him. And we worked a lot on mindset. 2 years just on mindset before we actually started the 5-step proprietary stock screen. And in 2021, John generated $2 million in the stock market. His beliefs, importantly, about money have completely changed. He's taken some vacations. He's changed his shoes many times. And he is financially free. So having empowering beliefs about money is essential. People's beliefs about money have held them back from living the life of their dreams. So what are your beliefs? Write them down. They may be limiting you. And again, once you change your beliefs about money, you will change your life. Learn how to be happy and grateful now, and then watch the money flow. But I know what some of you are thinking. How do I change my beliefs about money quickly? So here's one method. Trisha talked about it. It's saying certain words out loud with emotion. This is called an affirmation of the power of positive self-talk. And I know some of you are thinking, oh, this woo-woo BS stuff. But this has now been scientifically backed. Top performing athletes are using affirmation. Navy SEALs are using positive self-talk, AKA affirmations. So I want to give you 2 today. Actually, I'll give you 3. Bonus. I'll give you 3 today. First one, remember to put your name in it like I'm doing. I, Joel Salomon, am so grateful for all the wealth and abundance in my life. 2, I, Joel Salomon, enjoy my prosperity and share it freely with the world. So let's do the third one together. So repeat after me. You can unmute yourself if you want. I state your name. Breathe in abundance and prosperity.
Breathe in.
I, Summer,
Abundance and a
breathe
spirit.
in.
Awesome.
Prosperity.
See, Anybody can do it. Yes. Now, you may have your ego screaming at you right now saying, that's crap. You just lost $10,000 in that stock investment last week. Well, use my good friend and mindset breakthrough coach, Andy Dooley's powerful reframe. Stop, cancel, clear, get the fear out of here. Or you can use the other F word, I'm not gonna judge. So many people are struggling with money issues these days. It hurts my heart to know that you have the power within you to change your life. And there was a woman who came to me about 18 months ago. She literally had $90 left in the bank account for the last 6 days of the month. She literally had to send her daughter to her parents to make sure her daughter was fed. So what action steps did she take to ensure this struggle did not define her life? So we created personalized affirmations that she would believe in to make her feel calmer and less worried about her money situation. We shifted her thoughts, her daily thoughts about fear and worry, to more of expectation. And it took some time, but she now has a full-time job. She took some action. She sent out resumes. She connected with some of my contacts. And her daughter's living back with her. And this year she's taking a vacation. Remember, everything you need is inside of you. So I'm going to challenge you. Start saying your favorite money miracle affirmation that lights you up out loud with emotion daily. And start writing down 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for and why. Every day. But the magic that comes from believing is real. It's been demonstrated in the lives of the most successful people like J.K. Rowling, Ellen DeGeneres, Tony Robbins, and Oprah, and it can be demonstrated in your life too. Just believe that there are money miracles in the believing, and miracles there will be, for belief will supply the power so you can succeed in everything you try. I believe in you.
If you set it free, it's not about struggle.